back to another screencast. This one is on quadratic equations. It's solving, it's the basics, but for many of us it's the only one that we will need to really focus on. So here we go. It's a build on from quadratic expressions and factorizing those, and we're going to use those same skills to then work out what the value of x actually really is. So a quadratic equation in mathematics, an algebraic equation of the second degree. So basically we have one or more variables raised to the second power, and that's very similar to our expression, and we're going to go through that. And we'll go through the difference between the two. So happy days, here we go. What is an equation, a quadratic equation? So here we go, just like a quadratic expression that we have to the power of 2, but the difference is here we've got an equal sign, and on this occasion it's equaling 0. And then you'll find that quite often that on these sort of basic questions that it'll equal 0. And do not fear, let's have a look at some more examples. They're very similar, aren't they? Just imagine if we got rid of the equals 0 part. It's just a quadratic expression that we've dealt with before on a couple of videos before this. So make sure you've done those videos before you would try and do this video, because I am going to go through a little bit quicker than on the last ones, although this is quite a long video just to give you a really good go at it. And the last one is, can we see there, this is using the difference of two squares to answer this question, and make sure you've gone over the expression, quadratic expression video where we work on the difference of two squares as well. But even without doing that video, I think this is quite accessible for you, as long as we make perfect sense of it. So how do we factorize a quadratic equation? Yeah, we're going to write down. So let's just bring everything up here like we did before. So very similar than those ones we've done before, apart from the fact it's got an equals 0. So let's just treat it like it doesn't have that equals 0. We're going to write down all the factors of 15. Then we're going to look at the numbers and say, okay, how can I make this work? How can I make it equal 15? How can I make it equal 8? And we'll go from there. So what I'd like you to do is pause the video now, give that a go yourself, and then we'll go to the last step, which is the only bit that you really need to know that's different than what we've done already. So you pause the video now, give it a go, try and find, put it into your brackets, factorize it out, and then I'll pick it up from there. Right, so here we go. Factors of 15, we've got 1 and 15 and 3 and 5, and we're obviously going to use the 3 and 5 on this occasion. And hopefully you knew that and you've done that really well. So we bang those in, and they're both positives, aren't they? Because 3 times 5 is 15, but 3 plus 5 is 8 as well. So we're all good. This is the only difference, and this is why I think this screencast, there's quite a few questions on it, but it's really simple. Your answer is, believe it or not, x equals either minus 3 or x equals minus 5, because the thing that I haven't written here is that each of these brackets is going to equal 0. All right, so can we see here that if I make x minus 3, then this becomes 0, and if I make this one minus 5, then this would become 0 as well. And that's as simple as it is, really is as simple as that. So with that in mind, I'd like you to do the next ones, and then very quickly, we're going to quickly go through the answers to all of these. And just remember, if you're struggling, you need to go back and watch the earlier videos. But you write down, you factorize that out for me, and then put down what your x values could possibly be. Okay, so let's write down all the factors of 8. We've got 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. Which ones are we going to use? Hopefully you knew that we're going to use the 2 and the 4, because 2 times 4 is 8, 2 plus 4 is 6. So we're all good there, and they're both positives, so that's nice and easy. So your answer for this one would be x equals either minus 2 or x equals minus 4, because if we make either one of those a 0, then our whole equation is going to equal 0 also. Right, let's go through the next one. We're really smashing into these now, aren't we? We're really smashing into these now. Here we go. Here goes our question coming up. So pause the video now. This is a little bit tougher, isn't it? Just remember that we've got a minus there and what we do with that one. But hopefully you'll work it through very nicely. Okay, so let's write down all the factors of 15. We've got 1 and 15 and 3 and 5. Which two numbers can we get together? It's definitely going to be the 3 and the 5. We need to make one of those a negative and one of those a positive. And on this occasion, we're going to make the 3 a negative because minus 3 plus 5 equals 2. But we've got minus 3 times 5 equals that minus 15 also. So bang those into the brackets. We've got the minus there and the positive there. And then our answer would be x equals either 3, to get us to 0, or x will equal minus 5 to get us to 0 on that bracket. All right. Really is, as I say, easy peasy lemon squeezy. We do make it a little bit more difficult for ourselves with couple of the questions coming up. But before we do that one, just pause this one, give it a go, come back and see if you've got it right. Okay, so we've got that negative number at the back there, so factors of 18. We've got 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. And which two numbers are we going to use? It's going to be the 3 and the 6. And we're going to make the 3 a negative because 6 take away 3 is 3, but 3 times negative 6 is minus 18. So bang those in, and our answer really, really simply is x equals 3 or x equals minus 6. All right, so now we're going to move on to the difference of two squares. Sounds difficult, but it really is not difficult. Okay, it's exactly the same process now, but we can notice that we have no x value. So we've got, we've only got that, what I call the back value. So if you haven't done these difference of two squares, I'll just take a little bit longer to help you out. So all we're going to do is we're going to write down the factors of 100, and then we're going to think of the numbers that add together to give us 0, but times together to give us minus 100. So let's write down the factors for a start. We've got 1 times 100, 2 times 50, 5 times 20, and 10 times 10. So listen, very, very simply, actually I missed one there, didn't I? 4 times 25 as well, but it doesn't matter because we're not using that one for this example. Which two numbers can we add together to give us 0, but times together to give us 100 is the question. So it won't be 1 and 100. There's no way we can do that. It won't be 2 and 50. It won't be 5 and 20. It wouldn't be 4 and 25. But if we went 10 and 10, if I made either one of these a minus, I go 10, take away 10 gives me 0. So I've satisfied that rule. And then we've got 10 times minus 10 gives me the minus 100. So I know that's correct. So I'm going to use tens. And we could very, very easily say on this one that our answer is either going to be minus 10 or 10 in itself. Okay. Right, last one for you, I believe. It's been a while since I created this PowerPoint. I think this is the last one. Write down, I'm going to pause now, give you a go of how to do it yourself, and then come back and see if you've got it correct. Okie dokie, here we go. So what two numbers, factors of 36, two numbers that add together to give us 0, two numbers that multiply together to give us minus 36. And here we go, here's all our factors. And the numbers we're going to use are the 6's, because 6, take away 6 is 0, but 6 times negative 6 would be minus 36. So we're going to bang those into our brackets, make one of them a positive, one of them a negative, and then very simply, our answer will be x equals minus 6, or x equals positive 6. And it really is as simple as that. Now, the one thing you'll notice here is that I haven't, on all of these, put that, but that's good practice to put that just so that we have that understanding. But apart from that, it's all very, very, very simple, isn't it? I hope it is. If you don't find it simple, then I honestly think that you haven't watched the videos in the steps. And that's really important to do that. Watch the videos in the steps. And this is really going to put you to the test now. There's 3 questions there. Give them all a go. Come back and see if you've got them right. But pause the video now. Okay, so here we go. Here goes our answers now for these. Factors of 12. We're going to pick the ones that work. So it's 2 and 6. Bang them in. And we're going to say that x equals minus 2 or x equals minus 6. The next one was the difference of two squares. So 3 times 3 was what we're going to look for. and then we're going to have either a -3 or a +3. And last but not least, we're going to use the factors of 2 and 7, and it's -2 plus 7 there, so it'll be equal to 2 or equal to -7. And there we go. Hopefully, piece of cake. Hopefully, easy peasy lemon squeezy. If it wasn't, then go back and watch those earlier videos. How many times have I said that today? Yeah, constant theme going on there. But as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully, you're doing amazing in maths. I'm sure you are. And if you've got any problems, then feel free to give us an email on damien.james.warren@gmail.com if you've got anything that you need help with. Okay, thanks very much. Catch you later. Bye-bye.